execute Order 66. Well,
you were my brother, Anakin.
I loved you. No. We're okay. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we're just gonna have to get our video game news and all that from other sources on the internet. I mean, E3 is officially canceled.
Let's be honest.
I'm hoping that means people start announcing shit.
Pretty much, that just means Microsoft and a few indie people have to do their news elsewhere.
I mean,
because Sony and Nintendo wasn't even going to be there anyway.
Yeah, and,
well, they've already been
and Jeff Keighley wasn't going to be there either, and he's been there since the
it was
beginning.
kind of already failed. It was a really good excuse to save some money.
They were talking about like ending it this year, anyways, or something. Yeah, right? So I mean,
and I guess this is just the nail in the coffin.
But now they can be like, "Oh, sorry guys, coronavirus. It's not. Don't mind our failing organization."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was already kind of like doomed to be.
Yeah,
I can go to a Comic-Con Expo in Atlanta and probably do better than the E3 was going to do this year. I mean,
well, the truth is, I think now, given how connected we are with how fast the internet is and how quickly news spreads like that, I mean, it'd be better for these companies to just do their own thing. I mean, heck, Nintendo does a Nintendo Direct thing like every 3 to 6 months, and they always kill. Like they always kill it whenever they do it.
When you go to E3 or something, you're just splitting people's attention.
You are. Well, there's a lot of time slots for the different sections. For like, say, first up will be Sony, and they come out guns blazing, and they announce The Last of Us Part 2, and it's like, oh, that's awesome. And then next up is Microsoft, and Phil Spencer's just like, hey, we're doing Xbox Game Pass, and all the games are available now for X amount of dollars, not just on Xbox, but on PC as well. And that's awesome.
I see my box, yay.
Yeah. And then not only that, and then after that, Nintendo comes on, and they pull out, bring the disheveled corpse of Reggie Fils-Aimé up on there, and is just like, and he's just like, hello, we have a new game. My body is Reggie. Yeah, that's pretty much all they did. But
I hope.
What do you hope?
I hope that FromSoft has been holding on to Elden Ring news for E3, and now that they've heard this, they're just gonna be like, fuck it, and just tell us like soon, like in the next week or so.
Yeah, that old meme, the one with Elrond and I forget the king's name from the Lord of the Rings, who refused to throw the ring into Mount Doom. It's like it's pretty much Miyazaki with the ring. It's like Elden Ring announcement, and then Elrond is just like, it's like, release the information, please. No. Yeah. So that's pretty much where fans of FromSoft are at right now, because Elden Ring, not only is Miyazaki directing it, but also the narrative is partially being handled by George R.R. Martin, which, holy shit, I mean,
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, hyped.
Did you guys see the? I guess it was a hacker that had hacked into like the PT thing, whatever, to show like the open world.
Yep.
It's kind of cool. Now, is there? I guess I saw some rumor that Kojima might be trying to restart.
Here's the news through the grapevine is that Kojima Productions put out a very cryptic photo, and it was pretty much a photo of a guy at his desk, just like posing for a picture and everything. And on the little like Post-it note written in front of him, it was written next week. And then I guess they didn't. I forget what they announced, but the rumor mills have been spinning for a little bit on the revival of Silent Hills, because the game was already almost 70% done. I mean, they'd already like fixed up the game engine. They'd already had like a lot of the voice lines done. Right. They just had to build the rest of the world and populate it with elements.
But was that IP, was that Konami's property?
Yes, it is. And here's the thing with Konami. They say that there's been a little bit of a changing at the guard at Konami, and the entertainment division has brought back some people who are actually very high on Kojima. And if they are able to talk him to come back and finish it, and with like an apology and everything, and let him go his own, because where he's already opened up Kojima Production and assigned a contract that Kojima Productions will work with Sony, I guarantee you Konami is going to work a deal out with Sony that it'll be an exclusive release on PlayStation. Because PT was only released for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd figure that that's how the deal would work out, and that in order to not violate Kojima's contract with Sony, they would still release it on the PlayStation. It would be released through Konami. It would be finished by Kojima. Now, I have my fingers crossed, hoping that Kojima is being willfully silent because he's going to announce it. But and like I said,
all we can do is hope.
Yes, but they were already almost finished. I mean, they said the game was 70% done, and I guarantee you Norman Reedus would gladly come back and redub his lines if they needed him to, because I know Del Toro and what's his name, the creepy Japanese artist. You watched a thing of his, Nick? I forget, the one with the slug girl.
Oh, Junji Ito?
Yes, Junji Ito. Because Junji Ito and Guillermo del Toro worked on the monsters and the scenarios and everything. And they were pretty much finished with everything. It's just they hadn't finished building all the levels.
Junji Ito actually was helping with that too.
Yeah. Ito was
even more bad.
I know. Well, Del Toro signed up to help Kojima with the narrative, and he also helped design the monsters, and I think Del Toro was the one who said
Let me show you all some Junji Ito artwork.
Oh my God!
Seen it, but check this out.
Is it safe for YouTube?
Oh yeah, it's just his art style is fucking creepy.
Yeah, the cat one always scares the shit out of me. Because where I have a cat, I don't. Yeah.
Cat spider thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ugh. Because imagine walking in there one day and seeing that, and it's just like, meow. Please don't do that.
Let's see what we got.
I know he's scouring through right now, and he's looking.
Alex Weger's talking about many things.
Many holes.
Right now we're talking about Silent Hill.
Yeah, we're talking about Silent Hills, the horror game that was scheduled to be released back in, I think, 2013, 2014. And oh yeah, the creepy old woman. Oh gosh, yeah. The animated version of her is terrifying. Nick showed me the scene with her. Oh, there it is. Yep. I don't like that.
That's cool.
It's cool, but Jesus.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
That's wow.
That way, I imagine there's actually like a giant spider head behind that cat.
Yeah. But Junji Ito and Guillermo del Toro designing the monsters for a Silent Hill game.
Yeah.
Bruh.
That crazy long-haired bitch in PT, man. The first time I played that, it literally just chilled me.
Did you see anything from that hack? I don't know if you heard about it.
Yeah.
You actually saw she was behind you.
She's actually the entire time.
Yeah,
and so like when you turn around, she just orbits.
And knowing that makes it even more scary. Like now that I play the game, it's like, are you serious right now?
I think one reason why they did that was that I think maybe you would be able to see her in your peripheral. Like whenever you turned around really quickly, you'd like see a slight flash of her.
I literally every time I went through there, I looked at every single corner from every angle, like through there. And when I found that bitch was hanging over the top, I was like, oh, just like,
and you see,
I don't even know what to do. And then it's like,
and you see her just like smiling there, like.
I always did this shit where I run to the corner and put my head in the corner. Oh god.
The corner is
if I don't look at
it can't hurt me. If I don't look at it, it can't hurt me.
I didn't even know that. But the thing is, I was doing that anyway. I was just
yeah.
Like,
and
I love horror games that really get you like that, man. Like, and that game did it. It had the perfect
it was like one of the more perfect demos ever.
If you play that in the right setting, cut all the lights up, crank the volume up, and that's all you focus on, your ass will jump.
I remember when me and Nick played that for Halloween. I think it was 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, I'd never beat it. I'd never once beaten it.
Really?
And yeah,
I've beat it 3 times, but there was one time where it was fucking aggravating because there's different things that you can do to beat it certain times, and one of them was the damn microphone thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where if you plug up a microphone headset to your controller and you say Lucy 3 times, she'll come. And it was like, it worked! Oh my god!
Is it like hearing footsteps run like from in the distance or something?
Oh yeah, you hear it all around. I mean, you constantly feel this bitch like surrounding you somewhere. You just don't know where she's at.
They make very good use of the binaural microphones that they use because like all of a sudden you hear everything in a stereoscopic 3D space and you're just like, oh Lord, it's like everything in this room right now, like all the reverberations. It feels like you're really there, and you can feel the footsteps from the vibrations through the controller, and you're like, oh gosh, okay, yeah, but.
Yeah, the part where you have to look in the mirror and you have to see her in the reflection, but you turn around, she's not there. And it's like that part. Oh, it got me.
Yeah.
I was like.
I also remember the baby in the sink.
Yeah, and it's not like a cliche,
it's
woman
like a fetus or something.
Yeah,
you know, like the cliche girl with the long hair stands in the hallway and looks creepy at you.
Right.
That don't bother me. This damn thing, the way it moves at you and shit, and its mouth is like. That over. Oh my god!
Like I remember, I think it was like The Ring 2 or something, where like when I was a kid, I remember that creeped me the fuck out. Where I don't know if Samara was standing there or not. Like, but she's like it was like in the hospital, whatever, at the beginning of The Ring 2, and like looking down the hallway. Looking down the hallways, the lights just start shutting off at you.
Oh, that's The Grudge.
Was the Grudge too? That's right.
Yeah, the Grudge too.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like Sarah Michelle Gellar's in the hallway, and you see, and all of a sudden you see her just like coming down the hallway.
Really, in The Ring, you only seen her on the TV until that well at the end. And yeah. Now, I wasn't really scared of that bitch. Like when it comes up in the blankets and shit, I always say I would have punched that motherfucker right in the damn face like 100 times if they come up. Like I'm not gonna sit there and wait and go. Like fuck no! Let beat the shit out of that little thing.
I often went and watched horror movies,
but a lot of times people freeze whenever they see shit like that.
True. Well, I'm
gonna kick the shit out of it. Right
some people would see it as a mistake. I see it as a challenge. If a horror movie is good, my dad and I, like whenever we went and watched horror movies, I could tell if the movie was good if my dad was into it because. You know, my dad's a pretty good gauge of it, but if it's bad, my dad, it immediately becomes Mystery Science Theater 3000. And it becomes hilarious sitting there with my... Because I remember we were sitting there watching The Grudge, and my dad was just, like, not into this. He was just like, no, not in it. And all of a sudden, like, the scene, like, she lifts up her covers, and there's the girl, and she gets dragged into the mattress. My dad's just like, shouldn't have torn the thing off the side. She got abducted by the mattress police. And then another one was from Darkness Falls. I don't know if you've seen that.
I remember
Darkness Falls. My dad, I remember the one scene where they're in the car. They are in the car, and they're driving somewhere, and they crash into a tree, and the guy in the passenger side seat, the main character, isn't wearing his seatbelt, and he goes through the windshield and rolls out and doesn't have a scratch on him. And and my dad's sitting there just like...
Yeah, no, if you hit that windshield...
Fun fact about Darkness Falls, by the way?
What's that?
The director is Chance's cousin.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
So what?
I mean, it's not particularly good, but
No, it's not good.
Horror film director.
No, don't get me wrong. I like the concept because, you know, the lore I thought was pretty cool, but the execution, I mean, dude goes through the windshield.
I like the aspect of that story specifically where, like, you can't be in the dark. And so, like, if even like walking through like 2 lit areas, it's like this is creepy. Whereas the fucking was it the Tooth Fairy? I don't know if she had a name or not.
She was effectively the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, but like if I walk through this darkness, is it going to get me? That was kind of interesting, but not really a scary monster.
No, not really.
Speaking of really crappy movies, Ron and I actually just watched Midway. Which I heard. I don't know who was watching this that said it was a good movie,
It's not.
But oh man. And then I came to find out. Then I remembered. Oh wait, Roland Emmerich made this.
Yes, Roland friggin' Emmerich.
Because it was amazing. Because you had people like Dennis Quaid and Aaron Eckhart on there. I'm like, all right, all of these people, they must have fucking owed him a favor or some shit. There's no reason why they're in this shitty.
No, paychecks, dude. Paychecks. Yeah, it's just like I love Timothy Olyphant. He's one of my favorite actors. But he did Hitman because he owed money. That's it. That's the only reason he did Hitman.
It started off kind of strong, but then it really quickly went into silly territory. Like, every time a plane is making a bombing run on one of the Japanese ships or whatever, it's like there is like 20 times the amount of aircraft flak that ever would exist. So you just see this plane, it's like literally just flying through explosions. And it's
it's like really condensed and just
like utter like I can show you some clips, but it was just comical.
Yeah,
nonsensical it was. Ron has said that it is probably the worst movie that he's ever seen.
Well, I will say this: if you want a good war film that portrays the Pacific theater from the American point of view, there's actually I'll tell you a good one from the American point of view, and I'll tell you a good one from the Japanese.
Flags of Our Fathers and
no. Flags of Our Fathers.
It's kind of
Letters from Iwo Jima are better. Letters from Iwo Jima is a better film than Flags of Our Fathers. I mean, don't get me wrong, Flags of Our Fathers is decent, but there's too many historical errors for me to really believe it.
Right.
But Letters to Iwo Jima is about as accurate as you can get whenever the Japanese resistance.
Right.
I mean, they were told to stay there knowing full well they were going to die and no help was coming.
Speaking of historical accuracy, I'm going to make my kid watch 2020. Or, I'm sorry, 2012.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to tell them that shit really happened.
Oh, God.
See, this is what I went through. That's what I survived. My generation survived this.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But the one of the more perfect films from for the Japanese theater is actually, it's the one with that had featured Desmond Doss. I forget the name. Heartbreak or Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge is a great film.
That's the one where it's the...
It's the conscientious objector, Desmond Doss.
That's right, I was actually in Midway.
Yeah. And it was a very beautifully done film. But then, of course, there's another war film that came out this year that I think that is actually really damn good, 1917.
I still need to watch that. It came out in theaters like 2 months ago.
Yes.
So it's probably not on DVD yet.
Yes, I watched Tasman Hotel and Hell of a Boss.
I do like that.
I've actually watched them multiple times because I'm trying to get into that show, and hopefully it comes out. So.
Yeah, we had a new member sign up, Leah Scott. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was replying to some of the
Thank you.
comments.
That's my
biological
mother from Florida, Leah Scott.
And I hope to fucking God they make one.
Thank you so much.
Did you see 1917?
No, I've not yet. So, I've seen all the behind the scenes of it, but I haven't watched it.
The concept of it being just one continuous shot is pretty cool.
So is the whole movie like that, or is it just the battle parts that do that?
No, the whole movie from start to finish is one shot. And basically what I imagine they did, because obviously they would have to cut it.
Yeah, well, I've seen how they did it, but I didn't know if the entire movie was like that, or the intro was a little different. Because
I'm assuming what they did to cut was they'd do things like having the camera go through smoke or behind somebody.
Yeah, they actually showed that there was actually a breakdown that I saw of how they did it. Crosscuts. They did the crosscuts, like someone would cross in front of the camera, and then it would cut to their back, and then the screen would be completely enveloped, and it would come to another one right there.
Yeah,
and but when you see just how they filmed it, because I watched a little bit of the thing with Jake. They actually built the trenches and everything. They had the actors walk through these segments of the countryside for hours and hours, reading the script back and forth, just so they could get the timing down on how they could build the set and make it to where they would go through everything, and the timing would match up to where they could keep it one continuous motion. And it's beautiful.
So basically, they rehearsed it probably about 30 to 40 something times, different ways. And once they had everything set up, it was just tons of rehearsal, and that's all it was. And they had to do it over and over and over and over and over. And a lot of times they only had a time to do this whole scene about once or twice a day. So they had to go at it just over and over, days after day after day of doing this until the weather was perfect, the clouds were perfect, everybody did nobody messed up. Yeah, it's incredible.
It's a tremendous task, and also Roger Deakins winning his second Academy Award for the cinematography in that, well deserved, because he's deserved one, like he's deserved at least 10 by now, but hey, he's got two in a row actually. So congrats, Roger Deakins. As for other movie news, there's actually a horror film that just came out that I'm very interested in watching. The Invisible Man.
Is it a film or is it TV? I thought it was
it's a movie. It's a film.
I saw a little bit about it, but it was like on some memes. So I don't even know what it's about, but it looked interesting.
Well, it's about this woman whose husband was abusive and everything. Turns out he kills himself.
Okay.
He kills himself. Something went wrong, and all of a sudden she inherits all this stuff from his death and everything, and she moves into this brand new house and everything, and very slowly she starts to lose track of stuff. She sits a drink down, and then she walks away for a second, and then she turns around, and the drink's on the counter on the other side of the countertop, and she's wondering, wait a second, what?
God damn.
And then
critics gave it a 91%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Audience an 88.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of good things about it from my film set post, like all the groups I'm involved in and everything. They're saying, yeah, this is they had heavily examined a lot of the cinematography and stuff and just story with it, and they say it's really good. So we'll see.
Writer and director of the film is Leigh Whannell, the original writer of the first Saw film. And also, Leigh Whannell learned a lot of camera techniques from James Wan and has his own way of doing things. And a lot of people are saying this is his big horror movie revelation as him as a director. Because you know how much of a budget they had for this film? Normal Hollywood budget for a film, something like a basic horror low budget film, for instance,
$10 million,
like $10 to $20 million. This was $7 million. $7 million.
So it's getting down to that high end independent film.
Well, the thing is, theatrical costs are still the same.
Yeah.
To put your movies in every theaters across the United States, or most of the theaters in the United States, costs millions of dollars. Thanks to streaming services with publishers, they don't require that. That whole budget of that kind of gets cut.
Yeah.
Then that budget turns into marketing, which comes into advertisements and trailers and airing your trailer on every platform possible for your target audience. And that can still cost millions of dollars, but at least it takes about $5 million less. So since we have this new technique of doing it stuff, you don't really have to get supreme huge investors like Weinstein and crazy shit like that,
Yeah. Hey,
speaking of got sentenced for
23 years.
Good God.
Farewell, Harvey.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I guarantee you he's probably going to be set up in some posh,
they'll have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they're going to have Wi-Fi. He's going to be able to walk around freely in the yard.
With his walker.
Yeah. Nah, he won't have his walker. He only did that in the courtroom to make it appear. He's like, I'm old, frail, and weak. Oh, don't mind me. I'm used to it.
You wouldn't hurt an old man like me.
It's the same thing the mob bosses did.
He can afford to get food sent to him that's better than all of us eat.
He'll have
that free people work.
Yeah,
you're gonna get steaks and shit. Hell, that sounds pretty
Unless
good.
It depends on the prison that he gets.
Depends on the prison and the judge.
He might get fucking.
He might get really canned.
The thing is, Harvey Weinstein.
He won't be public. There's no way.
Harvey Weinstein is worth over $100 million. So, if anything, the state is going to take a fair chunk of change away from him. And also, it's probably going to get dissolved into the Weinstein Company. Bob Weinstein, Harvey's brother, is probably going to take remaining share of it and everything.
And that's not to direct a lot of hatred, because a lot of people think that when they see the Weinstein Company on a film nowadays, that that's such a bad thing. Fuck him. Fuck that company. No, the company in general, it's still always been a business and stuff, and it was a legitimate business. But he's just a kind of piece of shit that kind of needs to be put in jail for all the shit he's done over the years.
You see,
and karma's a bitch.
Well, so. Bob, here's the difference between Bob and Harvey Weinstein. Kevin Smith said this himself. Kevin Smith, one of my favorite people ever, who has worked with the Weinstein Company for the better part of, I think, 20 plus years. I think every film of his up until Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back was distributed through the Weinstein Company. And the thing with it was when he started doing films with them and everything, he was happy, but he never dealt with Harvey Weinstein because Harvey Weinstein thought that Kevin Smith was a whelp. He didn't want to deal with Kevin Smith. So he only dealt with Bob Weinstein. And Bob Weinstein's a numbers guy. Bob Weinstein, he's the business side of it mostly. Harvey, he considered himself a people person and only wanted to deal with people whom he knew could do good work for him. And when
in my opinion, Kevin Smith is like the most massively under-respected filmmaker.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he deserves like a lot more stuff and offers than he gets.
What does he make? Like
Clerks.
He joked about how they called about something for a Marvel film and they were literally just trying to find some old footage he had with Stan Lee.
That's right, for
Mallrats. Did they offer you a Marvel film? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, he deserves a Marvel film. Like that would be bitching.
Yeah. If anything, I'd let him direct a Squirrel Girl movie and have him cast his daughter. I think that'd be hilarious.
Clerks, I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I didn't give that movie a chance for years.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot is kick ass.
And the Jay and Silent Bob movie, Chasing Amy, was another one. Dogma, which Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, two fallen angels coming down to Earth and trying to get back into heaven.
And
now he's getting to do a He-Man series.
Yes, I heard about that.
Man, Woman Haters Club.
It ain't the Little Rascals, man. Come on. But so Harvey Weinstein. If you actually go back and you watch, there's actually a compilation of so many like big name actors thanking Harvey Weinstein specifically, and it's actually kind of scary. And when Ricky Gervais went up at the Emmys and was just like, and first off, it's an after all, I mean, I'm not Harvey Weinstein up here. And then all of a sudden the entire crowd, which is like nothing but the actors in the audience, and they're like, oh, and he's like, don't you do that. He was your friend. He was your friend, not me.
Tyler Ren cracked up.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's one reason why I like Adam Driver. Adam Driver's a straight shooter. I like him. But
I've been following Ricky for a while, to be honest. Like, the first movie I seen him in, I know this is a little later in his acting career, was Stardust with Claire Danes. And
that's a good
excellent movie. A very underrated movie, but he played a character in there that was a shopkeeper. He's a merchant.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to haggle and shit. But man, like when he gets into a character, he gets into it, and it's so funny. But so I looked up a little bit of his stand up, and that's my type of comedy.
Yes.
Out there. And then I saw a lot of his, scientific viewpoints and his religious viewpoints, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Like I was like, this dude is genius. Why isn't this guy in more films?
Well, it's because he rubs people. He rubs the right or the wrong people, or I call them the wrong people.
He rubs the right people the wrong
way. Exactly. He
Jacob
rubs.
wants to know when Jacob's gonna play more Mega Man.
When can we? That's a question.
I have a show on Saturday, so that's kind of out.
Maybe. What about Friday night?
Friday Siege Night.
Friday Siege Night. Sunday, maybe.
I'm pretty sure Kenzie's wanting to take Thursdays, so tomorrow will probably be Kenzie, unless they have something else going on.
I'm not exactly sure, so we'll get back with you pretty soon.
I mean, if you're free on Sunday and I don't feel like streaming, you can take my slot, but otherwise, like Monday would probably be like the first free day.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go out of town Monday, so not exactly sure
I can give you Sunday if you like. I can even do a second stream after yours.
We'll have to see, but I plan on beating it at least. I think it gave me like 4 more bosses and stuff, so I was like, all right.
I got a movie by Ricky Gervais that you might like, The Invention of Lying.
Okay. I saw the trailer for it a while back, and it looked really good, but I haven't watched it.
It's hilarious because it's a world. It's a world where literally everybody tells the truth. They are compelled to tell the truth.
So,
and then all of a sudden,
I remember seeing the trailer for that.
He comes up with the idea of telling a lie, and he's trying to explain it to people because they can't grasp the concept. He's like, I said something that wasn't. It's like, what do you mean? I don't understand. It's like, all right. For instance, I'm black, and then they're like, I can see it. Yeah, lighter shade. But yeah, I can definitely see it.
Yeah.
And they're like, and he's like, all right. I'm American. He's like, really? Okay. I mean, it's awesome that you kept that you have an accent, but
imagine how much money you could make in a world like that.
Oh my gosh, it'd be ridiculous.
You would be ruling the world within like.
I heard good things about it.
Plus, it's good. I liked it.
And he got a main role too, right? So,
yeah, he's the lead.
Cool.
And also there's also the whole thing with Ricky Gervais. I remember his podcast that he did with Stephen Merchant for so long. Yeah. They actually did little animated things where they talked to Carl Pilkington, and Carl is hands down one of the dumbest smart people you could ever hope to meet. And he comes up with like such novel concepts of just like, do you think that if monkeys could understand us, would they still throw poop at each other? And then all of a sudden Ricky and Steven are just like, yes, they're monkeys, that's part of their DNA, it's part of their societal thing. It's like, they don't like you, it's throw turd biscuits at you all the time. It's hilarious. And I remember seeing that on HBO for the longest time. It was like 30-minute episodes. Absolutely hilarious.
Billy Mount says, Nate, is Shawshank Redemption your favorite Stephen King movie?
Yes. Shawshank Redemption is probably it's definitely like in my top 5 favorite films of all time.
I just like The Mist because the ending is so fucking terrible.
Oh, God.
Dude, The Mist pissed me off. Dude, that movie was so good until the very end. I was like, what?
But
dude, what?
Stephen King himself said that
ending was better than what he wrote.
Yeah, because the ending he wrote was actually left like up in the air. Because
I'd rather have the ending where everybody died at the end than have that shit. That shit was awful. I was like, what? I mean, I'm not gonna say what happened if everybody's not seen The Mist, but
it's amazing.
Dude.
Yes.
I couldn't like. I remember me and my dad watching it in theaters, and as soon as it happened, my dad was just like, "Oh no!" Because my dad, like I said, is a great gauge for horror movies, and that film terrified him.
yeah, dude, that little bird bee thing that stung the dude in the face. Oh man, like I'm terrified of bees.
I like the acid spiders would be.
Yeah,
worse.
the acid.
The webs that just like cut through.
And that one dude who's up on the wall,
and he
falls down, and then like his entire back blows up, and the spiders come out. Like, oh,
yeah,
God,
that movie got me, man. Did you guys see the remake? The Netflix? It's actually really good. It's actually really good. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I mean, pretty good setup, pretty good effects and everything. Very suspense. The ending is kind of...
I need to go through.
It's better than the original ending. If you ask me.
Are they still making Blood and Gore stuff?
So yeah, the Green Mile. The Green Mile actually used a lot of the lighting techniques that Shawshank Redemption did, and
well, it's Frank Darabont. I mean, Frank Darabont directed that and Shawshank and Green Mile.
Yeah, so they used a lot of the same processes for it, but in the same sense, it was a whole different heartfelt story. But where the Green Mile really takes off the most is with the acting. Holy shit! Like, that movie was so good.
Well, I mean, Michael Clark Duncan killing it as John Coffey.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, it's worth a rewatch.
It's good, man. I mean,
I gotta watch it again.
Certain movies I can go back and watch infinite amount of times.
Yeah, Shawshank's one of those for me because I got sick of it for a little while, but then when I watched it again and I truly understood the gravity of everything that was happening in the movie, and then I also got a greater appreciation for the filmmaking, the music, the acting. And I'm just like, damn, this is like one of the perfect films.
I still to this day haven't actually sat down and watched all of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, dude,
I need to actually go there and watch that.
Neil deGrasse Tyson himself has said scientifically the most accurate. One of the most accurate space space physics movies out there, and the fact that it was made back in the 1960s is still an amazing feat.
Science fiction is science reality that hasn't been invented yet.
I'm assuming like that one scene, well, because a lot of the scenes in that drag on for a while, but like the one scene where the dude's running in the rotating habitat, I'm assuming that they like had literally built the set in like a Ferris wheel type deal that like
it was actually
spin as he
it was
ran.
a giant hamster wheel effectively.
Yeah,
and it had like restrictors on it to where he would actually have resistance whenever it would start spinning up. And what Stanley Kubrick did is he had a rotating camera jib that would rotate with it.
With him, yeah.
And it was amazing to see where it came from, how it came and everything.
So David D. Austin says, my favorite Stephen King movie is It. Both versions. Pet Sematary is a messed up movie and really messed up. The Mist is a terrible movie because of the ending. Speaking of which, David, I actually can't say exactly who, but I actually worked with some of the cast and crew from It and It 2 recently on one of their new projects, which I can't say what it is yet because, indie guys. But, yeah, it's pretty cool to meet a lot of the cast and crew from It. They seem to know what they're doing to a pretty good extent. So,
we actually had some memes earlier. I didn't know if you wanted to go ahead and hop into them real quick just to give us
then we can open up the box. People's been asking what the box.
There's actually 3 packages here. We'll get to them.
First meme is from Cyclone Shadow.
Cyclone Shadow.
Sounds like a super villain.
It's an awesome super villain name. Yes. Do it, Phil. Do it, Phil. Yeah.
Perfect barrel, man. Couldn't have cut a tote.
Damn it.
Boys, he did it. He said it.
Wait, did Sean try to make a video for it already?
I don't know.
I don't know.
If so, I can't wait.
Now, the buzzers, that was from an old video.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. But if he does make another one to it, I would not be surprised because...
That's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage. He said it, boys. He said it. I guarantee he's going to pull the air horns out again. He's going to try and hit them, and they're just going to... like, not put out any
It runs
sound
out
at all.
air.
Yeah, he's just like... This is bullshit.
What happens if you take one of those foghorns and you stick it in a bucket of water and do that?
Probably. I mean, well, it's compressed air, and it's
I know, but like, does it have enough pressure to release?
Oh yeah. I think if it's deep enough underwater, it won't. But at surface tension, surface tension underwater won't be enough to hold it back.
It'd be funny to get an ADR noise. Not an ADR, but like a Foley recorder.
Next one is from Hot Ones, the game show.
Woo!
Hot Ones is not really a game show, is it?
No. It's not like if you survive the 10th wing, you get $1 million.
No, here we go.
No!
Yep.
I see the title of this.
Hey, brother, I want you to give me your big, juicy, thick kitchen with your hot sauce.
Yes.
Gasping for air there. He said it.
What is wrong with Japan?
I think that was English dubs.
No, it was English dub, but it's a Japanese anime.
Yeah, but English dubs do what the fuck they want.
The fact that like we translated it doesn't make us much better.
No.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Somebody. There had to be a group of people that went through the process of translating that and was like, "Yeah, this sounds right. Let's go with this."
Oh yeah. Hey, Funimation.
Nico.
Hey, Funimation. You do that one, but you don't do. That one, the reviewer show where they actually. It's. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see this show, but Funimation came out and said, "Oh, this violates our standards." Really? That violates your standards when you're putting out shit like that? Give me a break. It's like it violates our standards because it's a show about a bunch of like these dudes in a fairy tale world going around to these different brothels with different like demi-human girls, like
Now that sounds awesome.
Yes, it does. I mean,
awesome.
and here's the thing: Funimation's just like, it violates our standards. We're not going to do that. We're levitating above everybody else because we're such a holier than thou company. Really? You still employ Monica Rial when it's shown that she lied through her teeth about Vic Mignogna over and over again? Yeah, you're a great company. Great.
So, when we were talking about Hasbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss,
hate Monica Rial,
earlier,
dude.
I really have high hopes for that show, and hopefully it gets the funding that it needs to get released. But the sad part is, in today's standards of YouTube, I don't know if YouTube's going to really allow that. Just because, dude, that show has child endangerment. It's got woman sexist shit in it. It's so offensive, and I love it. Hell of a Boss and Hazman Hotel.
Yeah,
I love that
those.
show, but I don't think it'll get the funding it needs just because of the nature of the show.
It actually blew the fuck up if you look at the views.
Yeah, the views is up there, and I wonder like if it's really gonna go.
Well,
you know, it's gonna take a lot of time and effort because that did not take them the short amount of time. The animations in that shit are fucking fantastic.
Well, by child endangerment, I'm assuming you mean it showed a kid trip over their feet.
Oh yeah. That's it. Maybe a knife went through their head.
Literally an hell of a
few
boss,
times.
like
And get shot in the head.
By as he's about to assassinate somebody and he accidentally shoots the kid in the head.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Murder profession.
Boom. Oops. Whoops. Whoop. I like it. At the end, he's like, "Oh, what do you know? There is a guy." Boom. That show was awesome. I've watched both those pilots like 5 times already. I don't know. I like
it's good shit.
Good characters, good setup.
Work.
Yeah, I mean, a really interesting universe. I hope they do a lot with it.
Yeah.
Because I was entertained the whole time.
All right. Any more memes, Nick, or is that it for now?
There's 2 more.
Okay.
So this one is from Logan. It says, here's $1 and here's a video I found. Enjoy it if you do or question your
Okay, Logan. I haven't played Overwatch with Logan in a long time. We need to get up in games so much. I haven't played Overwatch in a while, so. Oh no.
Oh god. Oh god.
What in the
He's just gonna drop a stinking hot, like a hot stink pickle.
What the fuck is this?
Ooh.
Why would someone make this?
I don't know. Why does this exist?
Oh my god.
I'm in here. Busy right now.
There's plenty of other stalls, bro.
Barney!
Big Bird?
Come out, Barney! Will you just wait a minute?
Yeah. Oh.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That was stupendous.
God, I'm honest. Somebody took the time out of their day to do this.
Okay, I call. Okay, I call bullshit. There's no way that toilet would flush.
Right? Alright, Master Ham with a $5 donation.
Master Ham.
Mr. Ham. Oh, damn. I know some of these clips.
Yeah, I recognize some of them.
Oh, Jesus.
Hell.
That was a thing.
Yep.
Not bad. Not bad. Some pretty tasty memes in there. If
What's in the box?
Yeah, crack open these.
What's in the box?
Okay, we got 3 packages here. Figured might as well start here.
You'll see who they're from first. Cause...
Can't really say like where they're from because don't want to give away their addresses or anything like that.
Well, you can say
Do we even know which one's from who?
Not really. Well, I guess we'll see here in just a second.
Where's Naruto at?
Oh,
Pretty sure Naruto is the box. Big box.
Naruto.
We got a package from the Nine-Tailed Fox.
Hey, yeah, Duvalin candy. Yeah, it's a little things that you actually dip. You have little dipsticks, and it's like little. It's like Dunkaroos without the crackers.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a little.
It's not like those. What are the is it bocce or what are they called?
I guess it could be like that. And also, right here we have Super Nutella. Super Nutella. And
all these this is in Spanish.
Oh, these are for Lulu. I remember when he sent me these were for Lulu. Thank you very much.
So this is right side up and that's upside down.
Tres sabor.
Let's do it together.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and everything's in Spanish.
Tres sabor. Well, that's one down.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. This one is from James Moyner. I know that because it says it right here on the front.
Does not have a name on it?
Dulceria La Colmena, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Awesome.
And this one is James Moyner. This looks like a movie or a video game. Oh.
Lulu is good.
Dear Nate and Renegades, I'm sending a special birthday present for Nate. I bought this for $30 at a local film festival where a minor celebrity was there to do a table live reading of the first draft of The Room. It was hysterical. Anyway, I am including a Blu-ray copy of the film that this person directed. I asked him to sign it for you. Right now, you are probably freaking out or are amazed by this. Thank you for continuing your work with the channel, and I hope that you will expand into different types of content again soon. Again, happy belated birthday, Nate. I hope it was a good one for you. Sincerely, James Moyner. Thank you, James. Oh, boy.
What is it?
Best Friends. It's the movie, the next big movie with Tommy Wiseau after The Room.
Wait, so is that Tommy's signature?
I think so. I think
What's on the front?
I forget who directed this. Okay, here we go. Justin McGregor is the one who directed this.
Okay, so that's probably Justin's signature.
Probably.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the director.
Thank you.
Watch that.
That's pretty cool. It's a sun like that.
Best Friends.
We're the three best friends in the whole wide
That's a film
world.
festival?
It was at a film festival. I think it won some awards.
Okay, it's 1 and 2.
Yeah, there's two parts of it.
Two different people have commented on your hair for some reason today, Nate.
It does look a little extra poofy.
It's because I spent literally, all day like puffing it up like this, like running my hair through
Aerating it.
Well, no, you know why? Because I was at a primary school earlier today with Brian and Marie Bridgeforth, and we were doing a demonstration of different types of artwork and everything.
Okay.
And I did this because, I just wanted to give the kids something to laugh at.
Because
I wanted to make
the funk.
I wanted to make it very easy for them. And as soon as like the 6th grade kids walked in, like half of them went, Bob Ross! and I'm like, now y'all, we're just gonna paint some happy little trees right here. No, I am nowhere near Bob. Well, Bob Ross had his permed. Like he had like a perm like done so that he wouldn't have to cut his hair anymore. And here we are with the last package.
Nigel said he believes he wrote which side to open it on.
Yes, right here. This side, open.
The one with
the duct tape.
Do we have a
3,000
knife?
sheets of duct tape on
Here,
it.
I got my keys right here.
But
Were you sending a package or trying to save Apollo 13?
Here we go. There we go. Read first. Nah, just joking.
Yeah. I don't like instructions.
Okay.
On a summer's
handwritten
day.
too. Nice.
I'm gonna read this at the top just for the hell of it.
I want to sit back down to be next to your mic before you read it.
Sorry. Fuck a doodle doo, my handwriting sucks. Hello, Renegades. My name is Craig. I go by Naruto Ikari on my YouTube. I prefer Baloney Brony. Nice.
But
that's not important right now. What is important is that I truly hope that you enjoy all the neat items that I've sent. I plan to send more later on. Some items either wouldn't fit or didn't arrive at my home in time. These items are just something I came across and thought of you dudes. Let me know if any movie or game doesn't work. Contact me on my Discord. Okay. I got your Discord.
Should have done a sophisticated accent.
I'll do this for the last part. I'd love to hear your initial thoughts on each item so I have a better idea of which interests which interests you and which does not. Please take care. Cut to a bleach white skeleton.
What's on the other side?
Fuck-a-doodle-doo.
Fuck-a-doodle-doo.
Let's read first.
Okay.
Handwriting's not too bad.
Little squeaker.
Oh,
man. Good mother.
oh, it's a hungry hippo.
Yep.
Just because of that last reference, this might be dated enough that there might be stuff in here for people that aren't here anymore, but I don't know.
Yeah. Savory salmon flavor. This is for Lulu, I take it. Thank you. Oh yeah, the peanuts. These are the ones that dissolve in water. I love these. The shock gag lighter. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Good old classic right there.
Not only that, but 1, 2.
Oh, we get to lay them around the house so we can shock all the
Holy
guests.
Shit, that's a
We
lot.
could play a game with that.
Okay.
It's gonna be me when I lose my lighter and I'm gonna take it outside and be like, oh, son of a bitch!
That's how you counter all the lighter thieves, including myself.
Hey, Jet Set Radio.
Oh, hell yes.
Jet Set Radio Future.
Yes.
Nice.
I beat the shit out of that game because it was one of the very first ones I owned for the Xbox.
Dagon. HP Lovecraft's Dagon.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I wanna check that out.
Oh my gosh, really? Tom Thumb meets Thumbelina and Snow White. Yet again, the gas station bargain bin animated DVDs.
Hey, some of those are pretty good. They had all the Mega Man series in those.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Yes. One of my favorite action films of all time, Heat. I love Heat.
Still not seen
Watch the
that.
I have
gunfight.
not seen it either.
Yeah, well, watch the gunfight from that. Was pretty cool.
Yes.
It's got Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in it.
And
so.
Val Kilmer, yeah. Okay. Get up, you sleepyheads. Get up, get out of bed. It's Groundhog Day! And the last one here, I don't know what the hell this is. Martial arts, Catman in Boxer's Blow. I don't know what the hell this is, but you know what?
Oh, this is going to be one of those JonTron type react videos.
I guess so.
This definitely...
Yes! Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, dude, that's
Is this?
badass.
It's Thunder. Yes.
Hell yeah.
It's the one that
That's
blows
awesome.
himself up at the end of the movie. Ah!
This movie looks good enough to react to and probably laugh the entire time.
That I don't doubt. What the? Gamer Graphics skin for a PlayStation 2, Scarface.
That's awesome.
Nice. Chad's got one on his PlayStation Slim. Wow,
badass.
and there's even more down here. Holy hell.
And we sent you a lot of stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, dude. Naruto, I appreciate that very much. All right. Wow.
Sorry it took us so long to get around to opening it.
What the? Oh my gosh!
See like a gold
I'm
bar at the
seeing
bottom.
I'm seeing some like
Holy shit.
yeah.
There's a whole lay in that motherfucker.
Romeo Must Die, one of my favorite Jet Li films.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Monty Python and the Holy
Oh,
Grail
hell.
Special Edition.
That's,
Hell
that's
yes.
a trophy.
The Wind in the Willows. Nice. Okay.
Let's see that.
There you go. I was talking about this movie the other day. Batman Mask of the Phantasm. The best animated Batman movie. Bar none. The best.
I thought you were about to say the best Batman movie. Yeah, we were gonna fight. Dark Knight
It's like,
is
is there a
better.
bottom to this box?
It doesn't seem that way.
Seems so far.
There Will Be Blood, featuring one of my favorite performances ever by Daniel Day-Lewis.
It's a badass movie.
Yes, it is.
I think I might have seen that.
Wow. Planet Alcatraz. That's... Oh, this game. Holy shit.
what did-
That's a game?
Yeah.
When did Hollywood Video go out of business?
I don't know.
Years ago.
Years and years ago.
They were out before
Whoever was in the
Blockbuster.
chat said I watched Space Jam.
Ah!
Hell yeah.
Come on, everybody,
What's up,
get up.
Wyndham?
It's time to slam now.
I remember.
Yes.
all
Oh,
they
by
had
the way,
was
saw
that
your Sugar
bum,
Glider
bum,
video
bum,
earlier,
bum,
Wyndham.
bum.
Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
I remember playing that.
Xbox
Dude,
game.
that was a fun game.
Yes.
It was awesome. It was great. I remember that was
two
back
more
my Harry
things in
Potter
here.
days.
The Man in the Iron Man. Wow. Another gas station movie. A gas station animated movie. Might be pretty good. Don't know.
Hey,
We'll
they
have
had
to
them
see.
at the Dollar General, too.
And this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially saved the best for last. Surf Nazis must die. I kid you not. Surf Nazis
That's
must
awesome.
die. That is hilarious, and I want to watch it. But at the same time, I know if we watch this on YouTube,
No.
we will probably
Yeah.
get banned.
Now,
Hard banned.
The question is this going to be better than Iron Sky?
That's a hard thing to really say. But I will do this as a temporary thing.
There you go.
There we go.
The blood gets cut
Hold on,
off
hold
to
on.
your brain.
It'd be
I will
out for a little
continue
bit.
the podcast for the rest of the time like this. Actually, this hurts my nose. I mean, there we go. Yeah. So,
It looks ridiculous.
why, thank you. It looks even more ridiculous if my hair poofs out. Hold on.
Yeah. Foom.
So there we
That
go.
was pretty
We got
cool.
another meme.
Oh, gosh.
What'd you got?
Well, let's play that,
Your
man.
man, I said, here's some Has the Hotel related content.
Oh,
Yes.
I watched like 3 of the game or
Listen here, you little annoying you. Just because nothing in this place seems to be able to kill you doesn't mean I won't try to make this slow and painful and possible. You're interrupting me. Shut your mouth. I will kill you.
My big toe hurts so much.
you got a big toe. And a radio demon just like kills him in like a second.
Stop everything, my toe hurts.
What, do you got a cramp?
Beat the shit out of you.
It hurts so much.
I like how the radio demon is just like,
Well, Alistair. Yeah.
Alistair.
I love Alistair.
On the radio
My
demon.
favorite character has been
The box
Hotel.
actually kind of like when you turn the flaps up, it kind of looks like one of those like really tall like cowboy hats.
Yeehaw!
Dimmadome or whatever.
Yeah.
Get 2 wooden blocks.
Yeah,
from
my name's
Crystals.
Douglas Dimmadome, and
I'm the Dimmadome.
Yeah.
Owner of the
Dimmadome. Yep. Now, actually, hold on. Let me
Director of the
see if I can do like dang old 10-gallon hat, man. Ain't enough. Gotta go 20-gallon, man. Dang on. dang old peanuts, man. Melting water, man. The dang old.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Use a little bit of hot sauce.
Dang old man.
Tabasco.
You dang old hot sauce, man.
Masker.
All right.
Leo wanted me to mention. You guys watch Gary and the Demons at all? Or Gary and his Demons?
I have
No, I
not.
have not.
Apparently, it's kind of like a Rick and Morty kind of feel to it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I watched one episode when I was.
Flap, so you can just like flip it down like a visor.
No, don't do that.
Yes.
Then it's gonna look like you're the
Wait.
cubic
Does anybody have
KKK.
a Sharpie?
You'll be the K cubed.
Yeah, someone hand me a Sharpie or a pen or a
You
pencil.
remember when the
Here, I got it.
solar eclipse goggles were going
go through
like thing and people were making their own?
I was
People,
gonna draw like some
people
cool
making like a
goofy eyes on it so you could flip
box
it down
head.
and have like goofy
Oh.
looking eyeballs.
Well, here's the thing. I've got 2 sides to this, so I can do it both ways.
Check the plug.
Yeah. Yeah, just didn't know that. I went both ways, Internet. I'm gonna cut a hole in this real quick so I can I can be like Sir Galahad from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. There we go. Come on. Yeah, baby. That's it.
good lord.
This is literally like I love doing stuff like this. Oh, nice.
Hopefully this marker's
Alright, we have another beat from Gimster with $5
Oh gosh.
Go ahead.
Go for it,
Get
Gimster.
too much into internet drama.
There you go.
do that right to the mic.
Yeah.
fear that?
I feel that, Gohan.
What the devil is that noise?
Time for a delicious sports drink, huh?
Huh? What is that?
What the heck is that?
I love this one. This is my favorite.
Denise, do you hear that? Oh God, it's not my wife. Leave me alone. You already took the kids. What more do you want?
This one's also
20 years later.
Alright, Mom. Once that time machine is done, I can go back into the past to save Goku and my father. Daddy?
I'm here for it. For what? Dragon Ball. I need that Dragon Ball. Give it to me. So you took. Need my wish. Are you okay? I think you're right, bro. Shut up, Ghost of Nappa! Who's that? I'm not crazy. You're crazy. Especially you, Nappa.
Hey!
Who are you talking to? Dragon Ball. Hands now, please. I don't really have it. No. What? No. No. Wait, what? Where am I? Why are you here?
Where's Nappa?
Didn't you kill him?
Yes.
Of course I did. He's dead. Forever.
I gotta admit, as much as I love that scream by Lenny Pator, I still prefer Brian Drummond's original scream from the Ocean dub, because the whole thing where he's going after Gohan, he's just like, "I'll get you for this. You won't escape my wrath." Yeah, I love that. But yeah, here we go. And then
You give yourself a headache.
Hell yeah.
I'm as wall-eyed as I can be. It's like, why do your eyes look like that? So I can see danger coming from every direction.
I can capture what's going on from the
Hey,
northeast.
it's like, hey Nate, are you mad? Yeah. Why? I can't see my forehead.
Good lord.
I'm an idiot. You'll have to forgive me.
Logan says looks normal to me.
Ah, yes.
Nice.
I have no comment.
I will be right.
Let's see. Let me actually see if I can write some funny stuff up here. See if y'all can see it. Uh-oh. We got any more memes, or is that it for now?
That's it for now.
Okay. Actually, if you want to bring up the artwork real quick, don't know how long we're going into this.
Go ahead and talk about it. So.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we're...
Go ahead and bring up Rydina first, the blue and white one. Yeah, okay. So, I made a couple changes with Rydina, basically, because she's, each of these characters has some sort of identifying thing for her. She's kind of is the archetype of a ninja to some degree.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted her melee weapons to be a little bit more ninja-like. So what I ended up doing was I got rid of her sword and mace and gave her these two kama, basically kama / Kasuri Gama kind of combination type deal. And so they kind of look a lot more violent and scary, which would be good. Yeah, go over to the one where she's running there, the image where she's running. Yeah, that's good. Imagine that shit fucking run at you. Also, I gave her throwing, kunai throwing knives as well, and so she'll those would be more of her disposable weapons that she would, and those would be kind of like vibro type weapons. So the kama there, the dual kamas that she has, those would be kind of that cinder weapon with the plasma / particle beam type head.
Yeah.
The throwing knives would be that vibro blade sort of type deal. And then the ball, it's called a fundo on the end of the that you would attach to this Kasuri Gama there, would actually have a gravity type element. So she has the shatter fracture weapon.
Okay.
So she has kind of an element of all three, sort of. So this kind of thing. And then also go to the right there. Went ahead and added this on there because this would be something that she has. So each of the AI characters, they have that little basically it's a smartphone sized what I call a talisman that their brains sit in. But obviously those would have a limited processing capability, which is kind of a good way of like keeping the synthetic intelligence and stuff from going rogue, if they're limited. But for tactical reasons, to give them more of a cyber warfare capacity and electronic warfare and stuff, there would be steps up from that. So like the cell phone version that holds like the brain of the SI as a talisman, scaling up to something about the size of this box here. Go back to the left there, to that thing that's where she's running. A little more, that thing right there, yeah. So that this is what's I refer to as a totem, kind of like a totem pole. I kind of like to use like sort of mystical sort of elements for this. I don't know why, but this would be something that pretty much Blick Zuni would pretty much interface with, and it would give her something like hundreds of times more processing power that would allow her to basically hack into any kind of low to medium type security defense system or whatever to give them tactical edge on that front, because cyber warfare is going to be obviously important when you're talking about a lot of mech warfare and things like that. Any kind of security systems and stuff, it'd be a useful asset to have. Plus electronic warfare is also important for like jamming communication. So so that's for her. Also, I replaced her pistols. The ones I had her with before were a little bit, they were a little chunky, and so I gave one of them over to Tomic, and gave. I came across these had actually just come out, so these kind of give a little bit more unique look for her. And she kind of embodies sort of a Reaper, sort of like a Grim Reaper kind of feel to it as well. So that's why like her pistols are, they're called Reapers, and hence the commas as well. Yeah, it's kind of that scythe look. But and there'll be another thing to that I'll talk about later for another character for her father. But let's go ahead and go over to Alexandria.
Jared Root said female Witcher looks good.
Yeah. The funny thing, so because I have this horrible tendency to go with different names and stuff, like trying to come up with a better name. Before it was Rydina, it was actually Rysiri, and I had never played anything of like the Witcher games or anything, and so I was like, I feel like I've heard that name somewhere before. I think I typed in Siri, because Siri, like the iPhone Siri or whatever. Yeah. The Siri is actually it's spelled Siri, is a short word for Sigurd, which is like battle victory or something in Norse. And so I was like, oh, that'd be a cool name. But then I came across Ciri, and I'm like, I can't do that. That's not gonna work. So, but all right. So Alexandria, interesting character for her. She is, we've talked about it before. She's kind of that Weiss kind of archetype where she's, for her, she's born into aristocracy. Pretty much she's the heiress to a major weapons manufacturer, and so she has like billions of dollars to her name. But she ended up wanted to join the military, and eventually switched over to the Spectre Legion. And so, for her, it's kind of a, she grew up with that kind of that canary, trapped in a cage kind of situation where she was, didn't have a whole lot of freedom. She's in that kind of like, when you're, wealthy and a elite kind of family, you have a certain set of expectations for you and stuff as far as how you behave.
So she's a spoiled bitch.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I have a feeling like my views on how she's going to be as a character have kind of shifted and stuff. Originally she was going to be a lot angrier for certain circumstances, but that might not be the case anymore. As far as how she deals with emotions, so she's still going to have kind of a neutral, cold kind of feel to her, but I'm still exploring that. For her, so she's actually quite tall. She's about 192 centimeters, which is about 6'4", 6'5". Nice. And if the reason being, she was born on Mars. She grew up on Mars and stuff. And the way I have Mars portrayed is it's actually undergoing terraforming process and stuff. It's in like third or fourth phase where they now Mars has plants. Now Mars being almost twice as far away from the sun as Earth doesn't get nearly as much sunlight.
Yeah.
And so
and it's
plants,
a smaller planet too.
It's a
so
smaller
less
planet, yeah.
gravitational
Hence
pull.
why she's taller.
She's taller.
They have artificial gravity systems that can kind of take ensure that you don't have like a lot of the bone degradation stuff. But you generally would also move around in that a longer term being in that low gravity environment.
So I'd be considered a midget if I was on there.
Yeah. I mean, the kind of
to Mars and
well,
hey.
the general. I mean, you specifically, yes, but I mean, kind of because I'm basing how tall people are at that point. They are significantly tall. They're noticeably taller than us based on how humans have grown.
How
taller
they've
in the last
developed
100
through
years.
their gravitational evolution.
Well, it's just like quality of health too. Like humans, we've grown on average. I think like 4 or 5 inches. No,
over the last 100 years,
Yeah.
the average height of human beings have gone from like 5'4" to 5'8"
or something.
Yeah, 5'8",
Yeah.
5'9".
I mean, obviously, it varies from country. Like in like North Korea versus South Korea, North Koreans are something like 2 inches shorter on average because they're just malnutrition and stuff.
Yes.
So I mean, you can kind of extrapolate that, and
then also you can also extrapolate places like the Dutch. The Dutch are naturally the
they're
tallest
way
people
tall.
in the world. Like their average height is 6'1".
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to think about.
So Alexandra Sokolova, she's like I said, she's the heiress to the Sokolov Defense Consortium, which is actually it's pretty much a parent weapons corporation that also has subsidies of a lot of other smaller weapons corporations and stuff. Mars is kind of, at this point in the story, is like the industrial hub of the solar system specifically, just because like Earth would have a lot more regulations as far as doing industry and stuff. Earth would have undergone a lot of rewilding and stuff, and so there'd be strict regulations on manufacturing. But for Mars, when you're going through a terraforming process and you want to actually produce more atmosphere, more material into the air, pollution is actually, in a controlled way, can actually be useful. So you would actually see a lot of like the factories and stuff that are churning out a bunch of smoke and smog and stuff like that because it's building there.
It's building instead of.
I mean, even though it's toxic at this point, eventually it'll get thick enough where then you can start converting that into like oxygen and nitrogen and stuff. And another aspect of it is like Mars. I wish I had a map of it that I had put together, but Mars is at a point where they've terraformed it to a point where the atmosphere is thick enough to prevent water from boiling away. So now a ocean is gradually developed on the northern side, the northern hemisphere of Mars, because that's where like the real low elevation is. Like the southern is a lot taller, and plant life, like genetically modified plant life, has begun to grow. And because, like I said, Mars is twice as far from Earth, it doesn't get as much sunlight. So to get as much sunlight as they can out of it, the plants are actually black on Mars rather than green here on Earth. So it's kind of this kind of cool, the reddish feel of Mars, but now it's got a mix of black and blue, is just why the flag looks the way it does. If you want to zoom in there. Yeah, so you can kind of see some of the symbolism in there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so like the
you just have your own pond.
I try and use as much symbology as I can when I create these flags.
Behold my soup of life I've created here on Mars. Let's just throw as many microbes and bacteria into this thing and see what comes alive.
I mean, and
first
so
true-born Martian.
It's kind of a situation where like now there's like black grass and maybe small bushes and stuff. It's still in the early stages. There's no animals and stuff. Humans, like you said, the atmosphere has gotten thick enough where they don't need pressure suits anymore. They can actually go out with like a sweater or something in like around the equator where it's relatively warm, but they still need like a gas mask to actually go out. It's just the air is too toxic.
I just when I forget who was it that said gentlemen.
Behold.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to go to that like Aqua Teen Hunger Force thing. He's like, gentlemen, behold, I have become God. And then all of a sudden, like one of the creatures comes out from the ocean or from the pond, comes out and starts eating him and dragging him into the ocean. It's like God is now dead.
Behold Mars Tigers!
But looking at some of her weapons, you can see that she's kind of has like this grenadier feel with her. So scroll up there a little bit.
So she likes to go boom, boom.
Yeah. So she's originally she had the commas, but like I said, I wanted Rydina to have more of a Japanese feel, like a Japanese ninja. So that's why I gave her those. So I give the maces over to her because I was actually looking at it. Maces kind of originated in Eastern Europe and Russia and stuff, and so trying to give them weapons that at least sort of flow with her, reminiscent of their ancestry. And she's Russian, ancestrally. So this looks like an MGL 32 kind of.
I can actually see her now, like threatening somebody. It's like, have you ever had the miss to face?
Pretty much.
Would you like to find out?
Yeah.
Lie to me again.
Miss to the face.
There will be an intimidation factor. Because the character model I was using originally for her, it looked kind of scarier for her, and it would have worked. But there were certain texturing issues that I didn't like. I was getting some weird subsurface kind of glowing thing off of her that I couldn't get rid of, and I didn't like it, so I ended up changing the character model. This one kind of looks a little bit more softer than that one, but also I couldn't change the first one. I couldn't fucking change her eyebrows.
Well, if anything, it sort of gives her the I don't know if you've ever seen them, the Russian I believe they're called the Troyevska dolls, which are like these very thick porcelain dolls with almost like perfect complexions and everything, and it takes a lot to like scar them up and everything. Mm-hmm. If anything, that can be like a callback to like those old style dolls, because they were you know how Fabergé eggs are like very sensitive and all that. Mm-hmm. These dolls could take a beating, and like Anastasia, that was like one of her favorite dolls to play with, and they actually still have that doll, her original one, like in a history museum somewhere.
Interesting. So with her grenade launcher, basically what this is kind of an evolution on what we have today. She'd basically it'd fire out the grenade type thing, but it would actually break away, and then it could have different munitions for it. So like your standard,
you get a lot of different fancy
like that whole shell there would be launched out, and then it would electromagnetically, and then a small gyro rockets would actually kick in and guide it to the target. And either it could break apart and there'd be like smaller micro missiles that would be like anti-personnel kind of rocket bullets kind of, or it could have a high explosive airburst or a plasma shell or something. There's a whole bunch of
fill one with coronavirus and just launch it.
Yeah. And then scroll a little bit up into the right.
We got smallpox. We got
a little bit
coronavirus.
That one's going there. So
anthrax.
I don't even have the design for it, and even if I did, I couldn't fit it on this poster. But for her, she's actually, whereas all the other characters will be kind of on the ground, she has a kind of Falcon-esque kind of flight wing system that she'll have. It'll be bigger wings and stuff, but when she uses that, it's going to look more like Raven from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
Where it's she can actually detach from it, and it could probably just fly out on its own like a drone.
Okay.
But these two of these will be pretty much mounted to it, so when she gets on the wing system, she would actually bring her arms into the magazine there and grab the handles, and these are firing micro missiles as well. These are designed a little bit different. These are like 20 millimeter micro missiles, but they'd be launched out electromagnetically, and same thing, rockets would fire, and so it's like a 36 round drum or something.
Yeah, that's one of those old porcelain dolls there. Yeah, they're very tough. Very,
what
very
are they
tough.
made out of?
High, like very thick porcelain, like ultra, like the whole doll, like
solid.
Yeah, it's a solid thing of porcelain, and in Russia we have dolls that can kill people. Like it's like, if man giving you trouble, hit him over head with porcelain doll, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Boom. And then scroll a little bit to the left. Boom. So that was the original character model that I was going to use for her, but
that's her AI.
Like I said, I changed around, so that's going to be her SI. So and for her, I haven't exactly figured out what her the attitude is going to be, but obviously you can kind of see this is sort of an elegant, kind of sophisticated look to her, and so I imagine that Alexandria will keep a lot of that.
If anything, I think Alexandria, she's still she's not about the aristocratic life anymore. However, this could be like her. Almost like angel on the shoulder, just be like,
right.
Must you be so violent? Yes.
It could be something like that. Yeah, and what's the reason having her being like she has billions of dollars to her name kind of thing. Yeah. She's got her own yacht that she never really uses, but that presents things in the storyline where like if they're their higher ups say no, you're not going on mission or whatever. Like they even like try and arrest him or whatever. Her wealth has a ability to like she can provide equipment or even ships that they would need to go do whatever the plot needs them to do. And so kind of interesting elements that I have for her. And also something that I'm playing around with for her specifically is that she's actually a clone of her. Her mother never actually wanted any kind of partner, partly because that would affect her business in some way. She doesn't her mother doesn't trust anybody enough to actually fall in love with them and stuff. Pretty much. And so it could be kind of interesting exploring that, because obviously there are certain laws and everything that would also be regulated for cloning. And I'm not sure
you can donate like your seed.
Yeah, I mean, well, and there's another process called gametogenesis.
Yeah,
which
so it's basically like DNA altering, right?
There's this process come out called gametogenesis where you could actually take like say a sperm cell and actually convert it into an egg cell. I don't know exactly how it works.
Well, I've heard about that.
But it could be done. And again, obviously, it's its infancy right now. But 600 years from now, what kind of things could people do?
There's a lot of possibilities that could go forward in terms of genetics.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's regulations that'll exist for certain things, but I imagine there's a whole bunch of stuff on the table, a whole lot of divergence. But anyways,
so that's that DNA altering that can give me like 8-pack abs.
I don't know if it quite works that way. Although she, as you can see there, she has orange eyes.
6'4".
Oh yeah, I forget about this. There's
muscular, blue eyes. Actually, you know what? Give me purple eyes. I think that would be really
so
cool.
She also uses
black eyes.
Kind of going off like Falcon when he has the two like Uzi. Kind of going off that. I gave her 2 of these PDW kind of. Submachine guns.
I like the extended mags.
Yeah, the drum. It was kind of a little bit of like a mix of one. She needs to have a whole lot of ammo.
I bet you that'd be heavy.
Flying around. They would be, but I mean, she's got.
It's kind of like having a lens attached to the bottom there.
I mean, it's that. But she's got.
The series has like bio implants.
Yeah, she's got bioaugmentations.
And also the suit.
The suit that she'd be wearing for when she's in the flight suit and everything it'd be cakewalk. But like for her, because she's flying around, the rounds that it fires, she specifically uses like smart rounds that will guide to the target, similar to like Titanfall.
Rounds that don't miss.
My mom just sent me this. Hopefully this virus situation gets resolved before tick season starts, or we'll be dealing with corona with Lyme.
Jesus,
good Lord!
Damn it, Mom.
I see you got a lot of inspiration from Magpul. I see you got a lot of inspiration from Magpul. I noticed the stock and the
I do like Magpul.
I love Magpul, man. I Magpulled out all of my ARs back then.
It's kind of
the coolest looking stuff that you can add on there, and it's affordable.
I don't like vertical grips, but it's also a thing of like I
don't like vertical grips like that because you don't ever use them. That right there is.
But also when I'm posing these characters for there are limiters on when I'm posing them and stuff, and trying to get them into that like flat hand pose, it's from certain angles it just doesn't work, and because her arm has to go.
Most people don't do that because you need to be able to pull back.
Right.
Pull back into your shoulder. And lean forward into it and meet it halfway. Like when you're doing this, you have to like squeeze the gun and it just doesn't work.
But
if you know anything about like 3-gun and like tournament shooting and stuff like that, so it's. Most people will realize that, those little foregrips that they have in movies when they carry them like this, they don't actually do that. No. That will make it swabble this way. And I was like, this needs to be straight.
All right.
Bam, bam.
But anyways, so that's Alexandria. I mean, there's still room to I've shifted her character a little bit around just the last week.
She's really pale, blonde hair, and got the red eyes. I have a friend that looks like that in real life. She doesn't leave the house ever. And she kind of looks like that. Not really red eyes, but like
and that was kind of a part of the development because like the SI character, even though I converted to her, it still works.
Nah, but when your eyeballs are more tan than your skin, it kind of looks red.
Right. Well, the thing is, she's in, she lives on Mars, and the air isn't really, it's still not habitable. So they're, spending most of their time in habitats, more or less, like pressurized.
So you're going to
habitats.
evolve differently.
Yeah, you're just not going to have that natural sunlight that's going to, so you're going to gradually get paler and stuff. Now, obviously, they would probably have some sort of UV tanning beds of the future kind of thing.
It'd be blue skins.
Yeah,
blue skins.
You would certainly imagine that anybody that would like actually live in space or in those kind of habitats that are cut off from sunlight would be, naturally, become paler. So
yeah.
Anyways, so
talking about some of the theories on like Hazman Hotel and stuff is like the ones that were born in hell, like the stillborns, everything that were born in hell, they're naturally blue because that's their skin color when they die.
Demons,
yeah, so it was like, so they're like naturally blue like that. I was like, dude, that is so creative. It's so cool. I know it's kind of fucked up, but I think hell and shit
the
like
world's
that's really,
fucked up.
yeah, it's hell.
But so this is Alexandria Sokolova.
Very nice.
Pretty cool.
So the next one will be Gunnar Jormungborn. That's the big forearm dude.
Yeah.
He's cool. I'm working on him. I'm hoping that I'll have him ready by next week.
Tank bro,
yes. And he's
a beefy
I managed
boy.
to keep his weapons on there.
He is beefy boy.
So.
You need to get some skeletal meshes in there so we can animate these.
Well, they're a scale. They can animate. I can animate it. It's just animation is such a fucking.
No, I don't need. I just need the skeleton so you can put preset animations into it.
Well, I do have. I actually did buy it.
Yeah, because if you can get them into a complete vector where they got individual knuckles and everything, and add that into the skeleton, you can take preset animations from like previous code that's made on different games and literally throw it in there and animate them.
These character models, they have every joint as a bone to it. So
cool.
It can be animated. And actually, I have tested out. Like I back when I was first getting into animation, I actually bought a couple packs of the different animation things. I haven't used it in forever, but
it's been a while since I played with Unreal. But one day I'll get back into playing with some Unreal Engine. And
how many memes we got left, Nick?
2.
All right, we'll cap off these memes, and that'll cap off the stream.
Master Ham with a $5 donation.
Woo! Master Ham. Thank you, dude. What'd you send us?
That was a pistachio commercial.
Acaban de conectar un animal. ¿Qué alguien veía qué animal es este? Miren, está raro, me lo encontré. Yo pensé que era un pato.
Damn, look at that bird.
What's that, duck?
No.
What is it, pigeon?
I don't know.
It's a bird.
Pero vean, es un animal raro.
Pincho malo. Pinchino malo.
Puto.
Throw it out the window.
He's trying to take it.
Fuck are you doing with a bird?
I said I'll rescue you, and you bite the shit out of me. Take flight.
Pigeons, rats of the sky.
Someone mentioned Doug Dimmadome.
Oh no! What did we do?
I wonder if you take a pigeon and hold it outside the window going 60 miles an hour. It just kind of.
Thank you for locating my long lost son, Dale Dimmadome.
Good God. Sir, can you just stop?
Anything I can ever do to repay you for your kindness, all you need to do is ask.
Doug Dimmadome? You owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome?
Not right.
Right?
That's right, Doug Dimmadome.
Dimsdale Dome.
Dimsdale.
Oh.
Oh God, here we go again.
And you can get me 3 tickets to...
Not right.
Say will not heal.
See, I got that little ramped up, high pitched version of Linkin Park you there, dude. See, you thought that was gonna like skip by us?
I love. Do you have Linkin Park Reanimation?
Yes. I have Spotify.
I don't know. They listen to. Let me find it out. I think it's something closer.
My CD collection is lacking because, the industry changed.
I was going to say, probably my favorite remix of the stuff off Hybrid Theory is the Collision Course stuff that they did with Jay-Z.
I was never a fan of the remixes at all.
For one step closer. So
one step closer.
Yeah,
to
for Reanimation, because it's got this kick-ass like electronic sound that goes on the beginning. I can tell this.
I need a little room to breathe.
No, I won't play that long.
It's a remix.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I just love that sound effect. So cool.
Probably one of my favorite. It's actually a part of the song that they never included in the original mix, but whenever they played live shows, they played it. And I remember at Milton Keynes back in like 2009, they played it with the song. It was the intro for Crawling, and what it was literally a violin, like a solo violin playing like the intro in. And then after, like, it cuts into the full orchestrated version after that, and it's just beautiful, man.
Talking about this?
Yep, that's it.
Fucking.
They never played that live up until like that one performance.
It's one of those things like Reanimation. It's like you can easily overlook it, but it's got a cool take on like a lot
on
of
some of their songs.
Stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. So is that we got there, Nick?
I think so.
Yep, I'm starving to death.
Okay.
All right. We're going to end this here, ladies and gentlemen, because otherwise Nick will burst through that window and eat us alive.
Thank you for the stuff.
Thank you very much.
I like that candy.
Yeah.
Ugh. Tastes like shame. Thank you all very much, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all for sending this in to us. Hopefully we'll be able to reopen the P.O. Box here soon so that we can receive more stuff. And I guess until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Roan.
And we will see you all in the next one, everybody. Peace out.